Hey everybody, Nintendo Hodge back with another Road to 600 video. Been quite a while since I've done one of these, and we are adding 16 games to the collection here. This is going all the way back to Christmas. Life has been very, very busy. Changes, good changes, positive changes in our life here, but lots of changes, so obviously time has been taken up with other things. But anyways, I wanted to share the 15 new games I got. That brings us from, I'm going to look here and cheat, so I'm adding from 566 to 581 on the NES. Road to 600, 16 games going into the collection here. But I'm going to trick you and start with 3 unlicensed games that I picked up.
When I'm on the road.
We got a copy of Double Strike, and this is an American video entertainment game. We got a copy of the King of Kings, which is another like Bible game. I think it's like 3 different games on here. This one's actually really fun, considering what it is and how it was like an educational game. And then this one I really enjoyed too, and it's another American video entertainment game, and that's Dudes with Attitudes. It's like a puzzle game, and I really did enjoy it for what it was. Yeah, the best way to describe it is a puzzle game. Okay, so on to the NES games, why everybody's here. A couple of Christmas gifts from the family. We have a copy of Mickey's Adventure in Numberland. Another educational game. I mean, I already have the other Mickey game in this series, so that should be a subset complete. A somewhat heavier style game, and that is Motor City Patrol. I think this was a cheaper game, and then it got some videos done on YouTube, and it brought the price up. But it's actually a decent game once you figure out what you're supposed to do. It reminds me of like a Dick Tracy in a sense of driving your car around, but you actually like pull people over, and then you ticket them, and you're supposed to patrol like an area. Motor City patrol an area of the block. It would be better with like a little HUD map. Unfortunately, you have to like pause the game to see where you are. During Christmas, Retro Chase Games had a sale going on for Boxing Week, so I grabbed a couple of games from there. Quick or Kick, whatever you would like to call it, another puzzle game on the NES. Love me some puzzle games. This one, I don't really pronounce it well, so, and let me put my reading glasses on. It's Orchestra's Ring? This is a mid-ranged price game. I recall enjoying it while I'm playing it, but it's been a while since I put it in and tested it to make sure it worked. But yeah. And I do apologize if I get any of these out of order, or if anybody watching realizes that, hey, I got you that game, or you got that game from me. It's been a while. I did take a look at my Instagram posts where these do get posted right away, so make sure you follow me on Instagram at Nintendo Hodge. These next 3 came from Greg with Regal Gaming. Thank you very much. He's always on the look for me when he comes across NES games. We've got Rollerball, pinball game from Hal, not too bad. Akari Warriors 2, which is the last one I needed in this set, so that would be subset complete. Double Dare. I vaguely remember watching this like over at my cousin's house. They had like a satellite dish, so they got all the American channels. Here in Canada, we didn't get like the Nickelodeon stuff until years later, so I never really grew up watching this. I know a lot of people have fond memories of it. I don't, but I guess I can now with the game. Some other pickups while I was out putting up some posters for the Toronto Game Expo. Superman, dare I say, hiddenish gem. You can turn into Superman and you can use your abilities kind of right away. Not quite sure what to do. Like it kind of tells you where to go and what to do, but it's kind of vague in that sense, but I like what they did with it. One I'm somewhat surprised I haven't come across sooner. A very good game in my opinion. Heavy Barrel. Lots of fun, 2-player, again, south to north shooter. Another one, don't remember too much about it, but Rally Bike. Honestly, it's riding motorcycles, I believe racing style game. I can't remember if there's like fighting where you can, like Road Rash where you kick or punch the other bikers. I can't quite remember, but I'm not a big fan of racing games, so. So let's skip ahead. Those were all kind of back in December-ish time. Jumped to February, got to celebrate my birthday and some gifts from the family. Shadowgate, another one that's kind of eluded me, not a very expensive game, but a fun game. I do enjoy this. Watch some playthroughs of it. I'd like to sit down and beat it. It shouldn't be too long. Like I watched people speedrun this and I think they beat it in like 5-ish minutes, somewhere around there. But I think it'll be fun to sit through and beat this. A Koei game, L'Empereur, I guess is how you would pronounce it. Emperor, L'Empereur. Strategy style game. You're Napoleon. You're trying to win the war and train your troops and harvest food and make pacts with other countries and stuff. So your typical Koei game. I think I purchased this from Robin from GameX at the Mississauga video game show that was going on, and this is Crash and the Boys Street Challenge. This is vibes of like Olympic Games where you compete in like running or racing. There's one where you're running across the rooftops and you have to use like a pole vault to pole vault from one roof to the other, and then you get like a scooter while you're on the rooftop and you go across a line between the two buildings. It's actually kind of fun. I don't mind it. I think this would be one to sit down and play 2 players against each other head to head instead of just against a computer. I picked up a lot of NES games, basically to flip, not realizing until I got it that there was a game I needed in there, and that is WWF King of the Ring Subset Complete. This one didn't work for me right away. Like, I cleaned it, didn't work properly. Took it apart, cleaned it with like the Brasso on the pins to try to tidy it up a bit, and it still somewhat didn't work. I tweeted out to, I asked John Riggs and Chris Roberts on Twitter because I know they're big NES guys, and John Riggs fixes carts, and I asked if they had this issue because the game would start up, you could select your character, start the match, and then it would just like freeze or cut to like garbled video. It looked really weird. And then I looked closely at the pins and you could see some really scuff marks on the pins, so I would assume that was the case. But I left it, tried it like 20 minutes later, and it worked fine. Didn't have any other issues with it. So I'm including this in the collection and saying subset complete. And then my last 2 pickups, I made a trade with Bobby and Jorge at Retro Chase Games. I took a bunch of my PlayStation 2 and PS1 stuff and traded it in stuff that I haven't played, and it helps me get closer to my goal. First one is Ultima Warrior of Destiny. Not really enjoying this. The graphics are subpar, and even the control is subpar. I'm sure back in the day it was really cool what it was, like a D&D style game. You have your party and travel around, and I didn't even get into any battles when I did this. But it's one I need for the collection, and I think this might be the last Ultima game I need, so this again might be subset complete. The big cream of the crop pickup. Very happy to add this into the collection. This is actually one I owned in the past, and then I ended up trading it off. Or selling it off, actually, not trading it, and it wasn't when I was going for the road to 600, but I'm happy to add it back into the collection. Woohoo! DuckTales 2. And it's fun. It's a good game. I think the original may be a little bit better, but plays pretty much the same as DuckTales, just with the 2. Somebody commented on one of my posts saying that the game price is too much for them, so they just got a copy of DuckTales and wrote a 2 on it, and they have their DuckTales 2, so yeah, a DuckTales 2. Love the Capcom Saturday morning cartoon series. Obviously, Chip 'n Dale's is my favorite game on the system. DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, and Tailspin. I think those are the ones that are out there. So as I said, 16 games. This brings me to 581 NES games. Sneak peek, I'm actually already at 582. That'll be in the next video. I just haven't picked up the game yet. But 581 NES games on the road to 600. Looking at values of games, I can probably add another I think 20 to 30 games easily above 600, so I'll probably get to like 630 before it starts becoming harder to get the games to price your game, so I'm going from 100 and less. But yes, road to 600, 19 more games to go, technically 18, inching closer to that goal. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully the next video doesn't take as long to come out, depending on when I get more games. And thanks very much, and we'll see everybody in the next video.